afternoon, everybody. It's another bright day. Got my hat on. It's really helping actually with my eyes. I mean, it's still bright out here. The fact that I'm wearing a white shirt doesn't help. But I want to talk about. I mentioned on my last video that I was making liquid fertilizers. So I thought I'd make a video about how I made the liquid fertilizer. Just quick. Let me talk about quick on what most people do, real quick. So most people that make liquid fertilizer, they use plants that have high nutrient value, like comfrey, stinging nettle, yarrow, a couple of things I can name off, but those are pretty much the comfrey is pretty much the #1 go-to plant. But unfortunately, I don't have any yet. But you don't need that stuff. I mean, it is nice to have comfrey because it's you're getting the most amount of nutrients out of a plant. But there's a lot of people on YouTube that just make it straight out of grass clippings or just any kind of weeds they could get onto. They get their hands on, which got plenty of those things around. So that's what I've been making my liquid fertilizer out of. Just straight up grass clippings like that. Things that you don't want to use for liquid fertilizers, like anything in the tomato family, eggplant leaves, tomato leaves obviously, and nightshade, deadly nightshade. I can't really explain to you what that is because I'm having trouble identifying. I think I have some around my property because I think I've seen some, but I can't really. I'm not sure 100% until I see it flower and like produce. If it produces like little blackberries, then I'll know for sure that it's gonna be a nightshade. So I'm not using any of that stuff. But normally I just go around, like I said, just picking up the grass clippings and any area that I'm just weeding out of, and that's what I've been using, and it's still good. It still produces a lot, like a nice nitrogen-rich liquid, which that's what I'm goal is. Mainly you want to use those weeds like comfrey and yarrow because those roots really deep, far into the ground and collect all the nice minerals down there that most weeds can't get to. So that's why you want to use those things. But like I said, you don't have to. You can make just a regular, grass clipping liquid fertilizer. Other things you could use, like if you have rabbits, you collect the rabbit poop and you put that in a bucket and fill it up with water. Not exactly sure how much you're supposed to use on the rabbit poop. That's why I haven't actually dove into it. I'm doing my research about it right now. But I want to make sure before I make the rabbit poop one. You could use fish heads, and that just sounds absolutely disgusting. But hey, if it works, right? It works. Just want to let everyone know about this though. I've brewed mine for about 2 weeks, and it's just with the grass clippings. And let me tell you, it's the worst smelling thing I have ever smelled. It smells. I poured it on my onions the other day and I could still smell it. It's disgusting. And oh, but it's just I'm hoping it helps my plant, my onions. I would like to get a little bit bigger onions. I got my fingers crossed. But I want to make some more, so I'm going to go through the process today of making how I make it. So let's get going, huh? So I accidentally left, this isn't the bucket, this is the bucket I used to pour it with, but that's my bucket. I accidentally left the bucket uncovered last night, and I emptied it when I used it on my onions, but it's filled back up because of the rain last night. We got tons of rain, and so I'm just gonna drain out what's in there because I want to use that bucket because that's the only food grade bucket I've got left. So a lot of people make this stuff in huge batches, like a big old trash can, like a big old plastic trash can. I've seen that a lot of people do that, and I've only brewed mine for a little over 2 weeks now, but most people let it go for like a month, maybe 2 months, and the water turns just like black. And from what I've seen on YouTube, like the smell of that is just absolutely terrible. I can't imagine what that smells like because I only let that thing brew for 2 weeks, and I'm having a hard time with it. Right now, I'm just getting a little waft of it every once in a while, and just, ugh. And I'm not like squeamish about smells. It's just, I've never, but this stuff it's almost there. It's almost breaking me. But so yeah, I'm gonna dump it into my, I'm gonna fill this up with clean water, as in not city water. I only have city water here. I don't have a well, but I fill up my 55-gallon water barrel for my chickens once or twice a week, and I use it to water my chickens. But you know, the fact that it's sitting there for a couple days, all the chlorine has left the water, so now it's safe to use. I'm not really too sure how strong my stuff is, so I've been just doing half and half water, half of that stuff. But if you make like that real strong stuff and you let it ferment for like 2 months, and the water is black and like it's a real dark black color, they recommend like 10-to-1 ratio. Like if you use a cup of that liquid fertilizer, if it's all black, you use 1 cup of liquid fertilizer to 10 cups of water. That's 10-to-1 ratio. But with this stuff, it's green, and it's pretty strong. Probably it's strong, but it's probably good. But it's like I said, it's only been 2 weeks. It's got the nice green color, so I'm just gonna mix it half. I'm just been doing half and half, and been using it on my plants here and there, and just to test to see if it's strong or not. So it hasn't killed my plants, so I'm just gonna stick with that. And the ratio may not be maybe a little too diluted, maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's still beneficial for my plants. So I'm gonna go fill this up, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got it's halfway full of water, and I'm just gonna pour this stuff in there. You gotta stir it up every once in a while. But this was empty yesterday, but it rained a lot, so maybe it wasn't completely empty, but it looks like a little bit stronger today. Oh, let's put it in. It stinks so bad. Do your best to being careful with this stuff. Once it's on you, it stains your skin. The other day when I was doing the onions with it, a little bit splashed up on me, and then I cleaned up as much as I could. I showered and everything, and throughout the night I could still kind of like get a whiff of it every once in a while. It's terrible. Yeah. As you guys could see, my garden is in the full sun. A lot of people have questioned if my garden gets any sun, because they never see sun on it. So here it is. It's sun. It's about 12 o'clock. So yeah, it gets full sun by 12 o'clock. Be full sun till about 5:30, almost 6 o'clock. So yeah. I know that's not quite enough. 8 hours is what you would really want for a good productive garden, but it is what it is. As you can see, I've got trees all the way around me. My property line stops right there, and my property line stops a little bit past those woods. So yeah, I got trees all around me, so this is the best spot I've got. And I do not want to tear up my front yard to put a garden there. So this is it. But you can see my plants are growing. So oh man, the wind just picked it up and brought the smell over here. So yeah, let's get back to this. So I think I've got plenty of what's around here to fill up this bucket. So let me start harvesting the grass, and we'll get going on it, huh? You know, if you were looking for an excuse to weed, you know, your garden, this is a perfect excuse. You could just, instead of throwing the weeds away, just throw it in a bucket, fill it up with water, and then just let it sit and ferment and turn disgusting. Alright, that's pretty good right there. That's good enough. Let's go to the water, fill it up. All right, that's about as full as that's gonna get. Push it down. I gotta wash. Doesn't smell. That's fresh water. All right, well that's about it. After that, I'll push. Give it a stir every. They say every day, but I've been doing every other day. It's fine. Lid on, but not tight, so you know if any gases escapes. All right, so that's kind of about it. Like I said, I'll just go over the basics again. It's use clean water, not city water. If you don't have well water, if you have got a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up, let it sit for a day, and you'll be fine. That's clean water. Or if you got some rain collecting device, that's also good water. Don't use anything kind of like poison, any weeds with the, you know, poison in their name, like poison ivy, poison oak, deadly nightshade. Nothing in the tomato family, things like that. But there's a bunch of information on YouTube and on internet about this. Of course, like I mentioned, the best stuff to use would be comfrey, stinging nettles, and I'm pretty sure I've got nettles here, but I really don't want to go look for stinging nettle. But if you don't have any of that and you're in the suburbs and all you got is grass clippings is just fine. I think I remember someone saying, you know, they only let theirs brew for like 3 or 4 days and they use it, and it makes not as strong, but it makes a good enough fertilizer where, you know, it makes a difference, and you don't have to dilute it as much. The longer you let it brew, the more you got diluted, because you will end up, you know, burning up your roots if you use straight up liquid fertilizer without diluting it. Like I said, I've been doing 2 weeks for mine, and I diluted, you know, half bucket of water, half liquid fertilizer, and it hasn't killed my plants yet, so I'm gonna just kind of stick with that. I don't have patience to sit here and let it brew for 2 months. And at the same time, I really don't want to smell what that smells like, because 2 weeks is pretty terrible. But I've got to warn you, the smell is terrible, okay? So, well, and that's it. My name is Sang. This is Growing Little Country Homestead. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.